Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. If you watch my usual Sunday plan with me, decorate with me videos, you might be wondering what the heck is going on. So I thought I would start this video a little bit different because as much as I love the Sunday videos, they don't do very well. And I think maybe part of the reason is because I don't show any actual planning, but at the same time, I want to preserve my privacy, and I'm not to the point where I would have multiple journals to have like one be public view and one be personal and so on. And I do tend to just unload my brain into stuff, and there's work things in there that I can't share and personal things. So okay, that's enough rambling. So here's what the upcoming video is going to be. So I know this looks like the beginning of a Techo Kaigi. It's not. I do plan on doing one of those at the end of June though. This is more of the part of the video. Well, here, let me just back up. Okay, so here's what I plan to do. I plan to actually show planning of the upcoming week here in my my B6 medium weeks take a note planner. But I kind of wanted to show my brain process in how I was doing that, and I used the monthlies in this sterling ink. This was the B5 full year horizontal common planner. I used the monthlies in here because the boxes are really big and I was trying to figure some stuff out. But I think for what I plan to do, I'm also going to put it in the monthly of my my normal everyday carry, which is the A5 PaperTess Designs yearly, the chapter 25. Yearly. And then I have these guys out here for my stickers and stuff. And then I'm going to let the video flow into my normal decorate plan with me, where I go and I set up all of my fun decorations for the upcoming week and talk about what this week was, although you're going to get a little bit of it in here. Okay, I feel like that's a long enough intro. It's probably way too long. Let's get into last week in my take a note. So I did check this. Let me zoom you in a little bit. I did check this in advance to make sure that there wasn't anything in here that was kind of like proprietary or anything work related I couldn't share. So I'm good. Although it feels very weird to show this stuff. Okay, so how I've been using this, I didn't really have any weekly to-dos, but those would usually go here. My 7 a.m. class always gets canceled, so I've started trying to do it at night. And then I put in like brief little blurbs of what happened that day, and I kind of use this part as an index for what day I can find that information in my PaperTess Designs, right? So for instance, on Monday, I started the day with a 2.5 hour production issue, which was so fun. And then I was really worried about one of the stray cats I feed named Doug. He disappeared over the weekend, came back, has a wound on his back, which is healing now, by the way. It's perfect. He's perfectly fine now, but the beginning of the week I started out really worried with him. And then I worked for a very long time on last week's plan with me after Pilates, and there were so many issues with the size of that file because I'm still trying to get to know this camera. And this just trying to fix the color correction, that file, when I tried to export it, was taking 15 hours and then still counting. So I killed that and then tried some other stuff. So I spent a lot of Monday night trying to figure that stuff out. And then I made the vet appointment for Doug at 4 o'clock. I had Pilates. And then I ended up canceling Pilates on Saturday because I needed some me time. Lunch with sister. We had the 3 o'clock Coffee Monster Co. release. So what I've been doing is in brown, I put my Pilates. In blue, I put important like times. And then, yeah, so I just went through this. And then this was such a crazy news week. I feel like I'm going to cover this here in the next part of the video, but this is such a crazy news week that I started putting little things in here. Also, if I have to-dos, I do this thing where I put a little and then, yeah, I know that people do the bullet journal stuff with the bullet keys, but what I do is when I have a to-do, I basically make a bullet that looks like that. And then when I complete it, I just turn it into an X. And if I don't complete it, I just migrate it like that. So, well, that's so fancy and well done. Anyway, usually I try to make them different colors, but I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do with this bottom section here, because I was using a certain pen every week, because the take-a-notes, they switch by month. They go brown to gray. And yeah, I don't think I'm doing that. I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe you guys will find out next week when I figure out what to do. And then I just move this little guy with me every day. So you can see it's circled for right now. It's Sunday. All right, so this is the upcoming week. And the first thing I need to do is I need to move this down because I was the only person signed up, which means it was going to get canceled. And then I need to move the Tuesday one to Wednesday, because I filled all these out when I made the appointments in the app, but I think it's 2 weeks of the new schedule, and it is just too much for me. I don't have any free time, stuff like that. So because of the hours and stuff I work, I need to kind of change that up. So I am doing something different with the Pilates. I cannot do 4 days in a row as much as I want to. It is not sustainable for me. So I have a 9 o'clock there. So I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to cover these up. I don't have any tape, correction tape or anything like that. But I figure what I'll do is I'll just put stickers on them. So this is 6. And then this is 6 o'clock as well. And the letters after it are who my class is with. And that is 9 a.m. Okay, so I need to figure out how to cover these two things up. And I thought it might be a good time to use one of my in-progress washies from the Coffee Monster Co. And I can just kind of cover that up because my schedule kind of was in progress. I'm trying something new. So I thought that'd be kind of cute. And then I was thinking I might have, whoops, one of these that would be cute to put over this other one. I didn't look at them in advance, so I'm not sure. These things are so cute, but they are kind of hard to see, like, what you want towards the end. Like, oh my God, I can't even speak. Starting off great. When it's layered like this, you can't figure out which ones you want to grab. So I think, what does this one look like? Those little envelopes are cute. I don't want that though. You know what? My friends and I had a hilarious conversation about bread this week. So let's just cover this up with the little bread one. There, that works. Okie dokie. So, sorry, I'm basically breaking a drawer over here to the left. Okay, so now I have my known planned events in a way. And then I have Friday off, and my bestie is going to come over and help me clean out what I've been starting to call my depression room, because it is the spare bedroom that I use for, like, my walking pad is in there. There's a yoga mat in there, TV, stuff like that. So it's kind of like a workout room, but I also use it as still a spare bedroom in case anybody visits. But it is just, it started last year with the, what's it called? The Yoseka Stationery Fest. When I came back from there, I just piled so much stuff in there that, like my suitcase and stuff like that, and then it just got out of control. So that room is a freaking wreck. Freaking wreck. She said 2, I think. Okay, so she's gonna basically, I don't know if you guys ever get this way or not, but you kind of need accountability sometimes. So she's basically gonna come over and sit with me and keep me company while I clean all that up. Because one, I need to, since I'm reducing the days that I'm actually going to Pilates, I need to have a place to do some of the stretches and exercises here for my back and my hip. And then also in July, my sister's coming to visit, so it needs to be cleaned so that I can, you know, put the air mattress out and all that good stuff. So that is, since that is a timed thing, we'll put 2 o'clock with Allison, and then it's for clean. Okay. So that's kind of how I start out a week. And then all this stuff gets filled out as the week goes on. These I used to try to match the decor that was happening in the journal. Like that was Easter and stuff. But I got that one PET tape that was kind of like the YDK or Idaco stuff throughout the years. And I just kind of went ham for a couple weeks. It's finally free on June, but I did all of May's, and I kind of like it being a little bit different. So that is where I am with this. But now let's talk about YouTube and scheduling stuff. So like I said, I went into this guy here, into the monthlies, which you can see got cannibalized a lot when I moved into the PaperTess Designs one. And so since these squares are so huge, I started trying to figure out what days I could do stuff based on when I had Pilates and when I had chores and when I was running things and stuff like that. So I was using this as a kind of a guide for what I wanted to do. And I think what I want to do in here is, I did not grab that. Oof. Okay. I sometimes forget to, is this long enough? No. I sometimes forget to put my lines in here when I start, and then I have to go back. You see my lines I drew in? So I'm going to put the lines in, and then I think what I'm going to do is, this is what's frustrating, is like there's not a block of this that I can use in the timed section for my plans for the day. So I think for now, I'm probably going to steal some of the bottom area here and make kind of like a YouTube section. So if you guys don't know, I also have I have a Hobonichi day free that I was using to try to keep track of videos and schedule things because I'm so type A about stuff. But I was also using it to like as a secondary journal where I was writing things about, oh, you know, this happened with this video, or this video went well, or oh my God, I got 5 subscribers, whatever. This is kind of turning into a Techokagi, isn't it? Anyway, that doesn't really work for me. Having things split up in so many different areas. I also realized I just scrubbed the mic, so sorry if that was crazy loud. So I need to try to find a way to kind of merge it back together a little bit. And I think what I'll do, I kind of only want to steal this much, but I already wrote PTO day here. Maybe I'll just steal an extra here. So I guess what I'll do is I will draw a line horizontally here. Hopefully that is even because it is kind of hard to see at this angle and I don't want to put my head in the video. And then from here to here, I'll write what my video type plans are. And then I'll use the bottom just like I normally use the bottom here. I'll just have to get a little bit more creative with how I write things. And then I usually put the lines at the starts of the week. So, like this. Starts of the week, starts of the day. What is it with me when I like write or draw or something? I cannot speak right. Like, must be like a weird neurological connection for me there. I can walk and chew bubble gum. I just can't do this other stuff apparently. This is difficult, being this far away from it. That's okay if it is a little crooked. I have no idea. And then, all right, after I do this, I'm going to transfer over my best guess of when I'll get things done. So that's tough because I think, look at me talking like I'm a big time YouTuber or something like that, but I think my problem is I keep trying to make a plan with me video and a regular video every single week. And I think that for me personally, that's not sustainable. And I realize that means that the channel might grow slower, I might lose people, whatever, but yeah, I think I need to try. I'm going to try to plan it to still keep doing that. But I think what I'll probably end up doing is a plan with me every week and then 2 videos a month, maybe 3. June and July are going to be very tough with that because I have Stray Kids concert in June, and then in July I have the ATEEZ concert. So there's going to be blocks of weekends where I'm unavailable. Plus the dark version of my big work project goes in June and the live version goes in July. So it's just going to be chaos all around. And speaking of chaos, where did my Hobonichi, where did my pen go? Oh, there it is. Okay. So I can't remember. Black is black, right? Yeah. And then red is brown. Yeah. And then blue is blue. Okay. So this is time. This is, so I guess I'll use black. Ugh, that feels really permanent. By the way, if you guys didn't know, you can switch out these colors. So like for instance, in this one, this year's, I went kind of crazy. So in the black one in here is orange. The blue one is yellow. And the red one is red. Do I want to use orange? No. I'll just use black. That's fine. I'm just trying it out anyway to see if it works. So I think for Monday, I'm not doing anything because Monday is always hard because it's the beginning of the week. And I have Pilates at night anyway. And then this is going to be a little bit flip-flopped because, yeah, because I plan to use Sundays to record the video, like the bigger videos. And so I would use Tuesday to edit the video that I recorded on Sunday. So I'm going to write here, edit Sunday video. So edit Sunday, watch, because that's how you catch stuff, and then pub next Thursday. That way it has time to sit and marinate on YouTube, that hopefully when it goes live, it's a lot better. It finds the audience a lot better. And then Wednesday, I have Pilates, so this is probably going to be errands and different things like that. I pulled out my hair. And then Thursday, I want to try to film the plan with me's a little bit in advance, because what I end up doing now is filming it all on Sunday morning, super early, which is why at the end of this video, you'll see like window light actually up in here, because it's a beautiful sunny day in the morning and this room gets the light in the morning. And that's also, by the way, why I fight so hard with lighting, because the times that I usually can record is the evening, and it gets no light in the evening. So I have like box lights, and it just wreaks havoc with everything. Anyway, so Wednesday I'll probably use for errands and things like that on the way home from Pilates. And because I want to try to film this chunked up a little bit, I can't film all of it on a Thursday because the week isn't done, and I like to talk about what happened during the week. So Thursday, I think, is just going to be the filming of the decorations. So film plan with me. And then Friday, I kind of wanted to keep it as a free day, you know, after work, have free day stuff. But I think I'll have time to edit because I can stay up late on Fridays. So I think I'm going to edit the plan with me on Fridays. I mean, even if I have plans, I'm pretty sure I can still get it done. And if not, it'll just flow right into Saturday. And then Saturday, I have Pilates in the morning. I run errands and grocery shop, blah, 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 adulting BS. But this is at night before bed. Record, plan, video. So I'll record the plan with me voiceover before bed, and then set to pub on Sunday. So it has a little bit of time to be in the YouTube ecosphere before it goes live. And then Sunday will be used for film a new video. Maybe. Depends on what the week's like and if I'm going to do it and how many times. So I think that might work for me. I want to try it at least for 1 or 2 weeks to see what it's like. We'll see. All right. So that's what I have planned for the upcoming week. And I think that is good enough for here. I can give you guys a sneak peek though. Like, I want to do a video on the black inks. But until I can figure out all the coloring with this camera, I don't want to record an ink video, which also really sucks because I have lots of samples and new bottles of ink on my desk that, I just got this one in, and I can't record them until I can figure out what's going on with the white balance stuff. So, anyway, so like for instance, sneak peek in this book, since it has Tomoe River, the Sands and Paper, I was swatching all the different blacks that I got. So that'll be coming up. And then this is funny, I was trying to create a list in order of the darkest ones. And like I was going through it and I was like, this is hilarious because like they're all black. Like I'm probably gonna have to film part of this video outside somewhere because I'm like, although I will tell you, this platinum carbon black has the coolest silver sheen. Like it's way more silver sheeny than any of the other ones. And then like this Venta, and this one has red, like a red brown. It's really cool. Oh yeah. Anyway, so that'll be an upcoming video at some point in time in the future. And then as a sneak peek, since we're getting kind of Techo Kaigi-y, I think that starting in July, I am going to move into the Just Scribble Plans Volume 2. I bought this towards the beginning of the year. It's Volume 1 and 2. It's split 6 months. And I didn't end up using it because the paper just felt like it was bleeding, like it was one of those bad batches of the Tomoe River paper that so many people are fighting with this year. But I am really struggling not having vertical weeklies because it is so funny to me that I hated this so much with the Hobonichi Cousin last year. But now I'm like, ugh, it really bugs me. And I do have them in a sense with the Take a Note, but the size difference, like the columns are bigger here, not by much, but they're bigger. And I will gain some space, right? So I'm thinking I might do it. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't know. And I've also been thinking, this is hilarious. I've also been thinking about getting another big B5 but getting the vertical weekly one, because what messed me up with this was the horizontal and then an empty page and then the next horizontal that I couldn't, whatever. Anyway, all of that's for another video, and I have no idea why I'm rambling this much. Let me shut up and let the next part of the video start. I hope you guys enjoy. If there's anything that you think that I can do a little bit better or add to the channel, please let me know. Thanks. Hey, did you guys miss me? It's been at least a whole millisecond since you heard from me last. Yeah, so it feels a little weird doing this part of the video with the voiceover now, just because I rambled at you for roughly 20, 25, 24 minutes before this. So, I gotta tell you, last week was very busy and tiring, but fun. And for some reason, this week was not necessarily fun, but just draining. So draining. It's been really hard to get myself to make this video because I basically spent most of yesterday in bed, yesterday being Saturday. And so it was all I could do to get up and make this video. So anyway, what's up? The PET tape for this week is another one by YDK or Idaco. It's called Notes in the Wilderness. And I can't remember exactly which shop I got it from. I think I got it from Tiny Box by Tina, and I think that they are still not shipping to the US right now. But regardless, the name will be in the description, and you can probably find it from another shop somewhere if you really like it. I really like it because I feel like it combines the colors of last week's, but less oddball-ish. I don't know how to explain it. But it also reminded me that I still need to pick out PET for next week, which I haven't done yet. I forgot. Remember when I was recording these, I was like, oh yeah, 4 weeks. Well, no, actually 5. So I need to find some other green tinted one. Which also reminds me, I'm not sure next month I'm going to try to color palette around the Coffee Monster Co. Because I feel like as a designer, she's done an amazing job creating a very cohesive color story for the year. But for me, I don't want to be locked into only using certain PET tapes and inks. For example, I got a really cool hot pink ink with gold shimmer, and I'm like, oh yeah, I want to use that. That's probably not going to really come up anytime soon. And so I'm kind of thinking maybe in June, or not even June. Yeah. For June, I'm kind of thinking that I'm gonna pick inks and then pick everything else around that. And the heck with the Coffee Monster Co. colors, because really I only use Helen's stuff on the monthly page, which I have to confess, I never even finished setting up the beginning of my journal, much less going back and putting the stuff on the week or the monthly pages that I wanted to. Things like, the highs, the lows, the important events, stories, they're all just blank. So I don't know how I'm going to find time to do that, but that's something I really want to do. Anyway, I found that this whole little ruler thing I got going on works really well, and I really like it. But speaking of rulers, because I can't find my metal ruler anywhere, except for I do have one, and it is in my work journal, but I can't find my other one anywhere. So I am... My gosh, guys, my brain just died. Okay, let's just back up. I told you it was a rough week. I need to go back to bed after this. Anyway, ruler. Coffee Monster Co. had a May 17th shop release, and I was able to snag one of her new rulers. So yay, I will have a good size metal ruler again. Huzzah! Whenever that ships, that'll be good. You're gonna see some PET tape in here that you haven't seen on my channel yet, and that is because it is new. That shimmery, glittery kind of one with the lines that I showed just a minute ago. that will be covered in a stationery haul video that'll be coming out this week. And there's another one that you'll see in just a few minutes that has these really cool iridescent clouds, which I want to say that's the actual name of the PET tape is Iridescent Clouds, but it's by Fairy Maru. And so that'll be coming out this week as well. It's all in one. Isn't that interesting? I was just watching this video while doing the voiceover, and the autofocus is trying to find something to pick, and so it keeps making it look like the screen's bouncing, but it isn't. Oh, these are the clouds. So I was trying to pick ones that kind of went along with this color a little bit. So they're not exactly the happiest, although I did sneak purple one in there. But oh no, so sorry. It's a yawn. Since I was picking the clouds, because they're holding leaves, right? And so when they're holding the leaves, not all of them, but like half of them, when they're holding the leaves, like to protect from the rain, I immediately thought of that cloud PET tape. And when I thought of the cloud PET tape, I thought of the one with the lines. And I had this idea I thought would be really cute to make it rain on some of the pages. So I was actually feeling pretty cheeky and excited about that. And man, I had a hard time picking the washi tape for this one this time, and I don't know why. Maybe because this one was so similar in colors to the last time, it made me want to use more rub-on transfer stickers than PET tape. Although I was kind of cooking up an idea with one of them to make it look like raindrops on the ground, like puddles. I don't think it really turned out the way I was thinking in my mind, but I like it, so that's okay. And I'll say that for this week, unlike last week, I actually like all the spreads that I did in this week, so that's good. Because last week there were some I just wasn't feeling it. But anyway, I'm trying to remember what I blabbered about in the intro versus what I planned on talking to you guys about in this part, so that I don't just keep going over it. Oh man, I really want to use this particular rub-on sticker, but like I couldn't figure out the right placement for it, and I'm happy with the end result. The end result looks great, but it was a little frustrating filming this. It also was frustrating because, let's get into it. Okay, so I have been in white balance slash color correction hell for 2 weeks now, ever since I got the new camera. Because the iPhone did so much processing within it, the video looks great, I mean, for an iPhone. And so I was really hoping by getting this Canon camera that my life would be easier. And it is not. And part of me really regrets buying this camera. Not only was it really expensive, but it has been a real challenge. And I don't mind learning new things. I think I said that before, but it is frustrating when you want to just sit down and record an ink video and you can't, because you're going to have to fight with the coloring to figure out how to try to get the ink to look like the right color, or at least similar. You know what I mean? Whereas with the iPhone, it was pretty close. I mean, there's some things that were a little bit off, but it was pretty close. So I didn't really worry about like misrepresenting ink colors to anyone. But this, I can't. And so when I was recording the stationery haul video, I flipped it to autocorrect the white balance, and I thought that would fix things. What that did is that caused the camera to overheat like crazy, and it reduced the film time, and then it still didn't really fix the problem. And I only have one battery in the camera right now. Like I tried to buy a dummy battery where I could just keep it plugged in, but I can't find one that'll work, so I had to return that. And so it's like the camera overheated, or ran out the battery. I had to plug the battery in. I had to wait like a whole day to record again. So anyway, long story short, the auto white balance didn't work. I still had to try to tweak it. And that's what led me to create the short that's out there about being frustrated with how white and bright my iPhone footage is compared to my fancy new expensive camera, which I get it. It's a learning curve. I just don't have the skills or knowledge to make this. It's not the camera's fault. It's totally me. But I don't have the skills or knowledge or honestly the time to sit there and futz with it. So I made that short, and someone mentioned flipping it to auto white balance, which I had already done. But someone else mentioned the temperature color, typically indoors in Kelvin. And that got me looking at the different auto settings of things and what temperature it put that at. And then I found that the auto white balance had different priorities. And there was one that said white priority. So I flipped it to that, hoping that the white color of the video would like take the priority over any other processing it was doing, and then I just crossed my fingers. So this video that you're watching now was filmed over 2.5 days because I kept using up the battery, but I was hoping that the white balance was good. And it was a lot better. To me, looking at it, it still seems too warm toned, but it's better than it was. And all of that led me to spend even more money on this situation, which is really frustrating me. But I bought another battery, and because they didn't sell chargers that would take 2 batteries, I had to buy another charger. And it's frustrating. Whatever. I think that's like the theme for this last week is just exhaustion and frustration. But fingers crossed. And then let's see what else. Doug, the stray cat that I feed, I had mentioned him last week about how he ran off and stuff like that. I did make a vet appointment for him on Tuesday, and it turned out he had a wound on his back. And thankfully, in my opinion, well, global opinion, I think, the vet and I both felt that it wasn't human made. So that's good, because I was going to be really upset if someone who lived near me had done anything to him. They think it was just an abscess that had burst and caused him problems. So they onboarded him with antibiotics because he had a really high fever, and gave him some pain stuff, and then sent me home with some pain stuff, and he's been doing great. He's one of those cats that will follow you around, and as soon as you stop, he rolls over and gives you his belly because he wants belly rubs, kind of like a dog. And so he actually did that for the first time the other day from when he got hurt. It probably took about 3 or 4 days. So that made me feel a lot better. And then, so that was like good news. And then I broke down and bought that new Edison Collier pen from Goulet Pens because I got last year's pen as well. And it's Stardust. If you want to look it up, it's really pretty. Someone from work said it reminded him of a peacock feather, and it really does. Now I can't like unsee it, but I was really excited to get that in. And it has something in the resin. Like, I looked at it, it's very pretty, has a good weight, everything. I was really excited. I already know there's an andurilium ink that I wanted to put in it. I was like all prepared, even though blue isn't really in the color scheme of this month, but I still have one blue already done. But anyway, I was all excited for it, and then like I kept seeing it, and I was like, okay, I'm just being crazy, I'm being neurotic. But it really seems to me, and even on the pictures I've taken and the video I've taken, that there's like something in the resin, and it's not the shimmer. So if I had to guess, I would guess that when they were tooling the threads for the cap, maybe some shavings fell, and then it got resined over, like in the last couple layers of resin or something like that. I don't know. But the good news is I contacted Goulet and they sent a return label. So I sent it back, but I did send pictures and video and stuff like that. And I know it is hard to see. So I just kept telling her, trust me, when you get it in person, you'll see it. So hopefully they can, find another one and get that back to me. That would be ideal because, like I said, I really like the pen, and it was so frustrating to have a pen in your hands and then just ship it out like the next day. So that kind of sucked. And then also, like, this week was a really crazy news week, wasn't it? Like, so you had the Nottoway plantation, the antebellum plantation in Louisiana burned down, and there's all kinds of like controversy stuff about it because, I understand both sides, right? Like, slavery and the fact that even the website named the trees and not the slaves who, were at the plantation and died there and all that other stuff. But if you just look at it from a pure historical architecture standpoint, it was like 166 years old, I think, and to lose architecture that is that old at that level of craftsmanship, like hello, they don't build stuff like that anymore. So I understand all the social media stuff being, proud and happy, I guess, that it's not there as a visible sign anymore, but it feels like a loss of like historical architecture somehow. So that's been kind of weird. And then there was that crazy tornado out of nowhere that went through St. Louis, which I didn't even know about. One of the viewers told me about it, and then now it's everywhere, and seeing that level of devastation has been crazy. And then this weekend, that Mexican Navy vessel hit the Brooklyn Bridge, and people died. And it feels like a very weird news week. Like, I'm sure that there was other stuff going on, and the sensational stuff always gets more coverage. But those things seem like they were just all over and in my face. Oh, sorry, one of my cats just fell off the desk. Yeah, and work was very draining. So much so that like Friday after work, I just went to bed. I fed the cats and the dog and crashed for like an hour and a half. And then I woke up and I doom scrolled for about another hour and then finally talked myself into getting out of bed. I don't know what is up. Hopefully next weekend when I get that room cleaned. I think I'm just drowning in stuff right now, and I haven't, because I got the camera boxes on the ground. I got orders from Chewy that I haven't put up yet. And it's just like everywhere I look, there's something to do, and it's kind of overwhelming. And I think that that's exhausting me more than anything else right now. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know if there was too awful much more this week. I belong to the Netflix preview club, and a new preview came out, so I got to watch that last night. I can't say anything about it, what it was or anything like that, but that was interesting. That always feels kind of cool when you get a first look at something. Although, you know what? That reminds me, I haven't gotten their survey yet. So, and their surveys are usually pretty extensive. Maybe I should reach out to them about that. I don't know. Okay, let's see. I was gonna try to babble until we get to the slow down part where we do the flip through, but I think I'm done. I'm just gonna let some music come in here shortly. So I will say this, that when I go and do the flip through, I do slow it down to normal speed, and it is in the chapters. If you just want to jump to that, feel free. Trying to think, is there anything else? No. All right, well, I guess I'll see you later this week when I do my stationery haul video that's going to come out on Thursday. So until then, I hope you have a good week. And if you like this video, please thumbs up. And if you really like this kind of content, please subscribe. And sorry it's so rambly and weird. Weird week. All right, I'll talk to you guys later.